in the middle. Templar Assassin has found the puck on the side and brings him down with the Build Your Own Doom. Troll Warlord getting hexed up. Wizard there with the Dispel, but he doesn't have anything for the second one. And now the auto attacks come raining in. Moogie just gonna pop everything and try and turn around and fight. His Abyssal Blade is on cooldown, and his BKB is about to wear out. He does still have the Battle Trance, but they lose the secondary support, and Fade just continues chasing. Here comes the Nullifier. Wizard, do you have anything left in the tank to save your carry? Battle Trance is gonna help a tiny bit, but there's the Imprison. That's the reason that they picked this OD, and it works out great. As Chuan now dominating, there's a double damage waiting in the river, and Troll dead for 110 seconds as Aster just marched confidently down the middle lane. Newbee's sitting here scratching their heads about what they do. They don't have a puck for 30 seconds, they just kind of have to... I guess they just kind of have to wait, or they have to try and take some kind of a fight. They do have a buyback on Omni Knight, but there you go. GG is called, and with one movement, and I would say one slip up from Newbee, Aster just take the game. Troll Warlord was looking so strong for such a long time, but all it took was Leshrac just dying in that one fight, and then in the follow-up fight, all he manages to do is chase down Fade, who has a buyback anyway. He had so much farm, and then the last two team fights just didn't have the impact to match that farm. Wow, what a weird game. It really looked like Newbee were in such control. And again, did they need to buy back on the Leshrac? Did they have to take that fight? Was there a convincing reason for Lesh to buy back? But there you go. Aster making a statement. Going to take the first game here in this series. They lost the first game yesterday against Newbee in the upper bracket, so has to be a lot of big confidence builder winning this first game here, getting off to a good start. And Newbee, I don't think it's really back to the drawing board. I think the draft worked out fine. The laning looked good. There were some nice rotations, but just a little bit of that decision making at the most crucial points of the game really letting them down. So that wraps it up for game number 1, guys. Thank you for watching, and I hopefully catch you back here in just a couple of minutes time for game number 2 of our grand finals. Whoops, that is the wrong, that is the wrong overlay. My bad, guys. I clicked the wrong one. Alright, there you go. Well, no rest for the wicked. We're straight back into it. Game number 2, STARLADDER InBTV Dota 2 Minor China Qualifier Grand Final. Lots of words, but what you need to know is it's Aster versus Newbee. They're playing for a spot in Kiev, and we have ourselves Game 2 with Aster leading 1-0. It looked like Newbee had that game on lockdown, that they were just maybe one Roshan or a couple of items away or one team fight from closing out the game. Aster get a crucial pickoff, Newbee buy back and take the fight immediately afterwards. They lose that fight, and another buyback gets forced after they lose the lane of Rax, and after that point, control very much shifting back into Aster's hands. Interesting fights from the perspective of both teams, kind of similar. They both had the sort of two cores in the front line, and the Abaddon and the Omniknight furiously running around trying to make as good use of their items and especially dispels as much as possible. But all it takes is one second being away from your team trying to push out that mid lane, and that is the end of that. So we got Tiny, Earthshaker, and AA being banned. The Wisp again gonna get banned out. The Batrider makes some sense. And what was the third ban in the previous game from Newbee? They did ban the Oracle. Are they going to ban the Oracle again, or are they willing to let Aster have it? Do they feel like they want to ban the Enchantress instead? The Enchantress did look pretty... well, it looked pretty annoying there. Chewed through a lot of regen on the top lane, helped XXS at least have an okay start, and then Baboka did jungle a bit, got his Force Staff. I think that's probably the conversation in the Newbee camp currently about whether or not they can let them have the Enchantress, and if they're happy for that to happen. And if not, then they ban the Enchantress, and then they have to think ahead about their plan against Oracle and what they're going to be doing. I see some lightning outside my window currently. The sky is flickering ominously, so if the stream mysteriously goes down, that is the reason. But hopefully we will be okay. Okay, so there you go. In the end, they banned the Oracle, and Aster have to make the decision: do they want the Enchantress? They're probably just going to take the Enchantress. Newbee, what is your answer? So this is starting off exactly the same as the previous draft. This is actually exactly the same the exact same 7 decisions that were made. Slightly different order. They banned Oracle before Bat in the previous draft, but other than that, completely identical. And I guess it just comes down to, are Newbee willing to run it back as well? Are they going to pick the Puck? Are they going to pick the Lich? Did they think that they had the better draft in the previous game and they just made an execution mistake? Yes, that does appear to be the case. We'll probably see different bans in the second round, but this is some hard-headedness from Newbee to just run back the exact same draft. I can totally understand the motivation, but we'll see where this deviates. Like, are Aster just gonna go for the Shadow Shaman again? It looked pretty good, but it's also not as if Shadow Shaman is the only hero that can fulfill the role that Shadow Shaman fulfilled in that last game for Aster. They could just as well pick a Lion or some other long disable, could take a Bane or something like that. Maybe Bane not as much of a replacement for Shadow Shaman as Lion is, but Aster having to ponder if they're going to be the ones to break the pattern. Because so far, there have been 9 decisions made, and they're all exactly the same as the last game. Alright, 10 decisions made. Exactly the same. Maybe I don't even need to cast this one, guys. Maybe I can just go back, and, I'll just have the audio from the previous series, and I'll just play that over this new game, and then I can just move the camera around. How nice would that be? That would be some value for me. Okay, so where do we start to deviate? So the next, if we are still following the script, the next ban is, okay, well, Slark, so Aster banned Slark and Timbersaw in this phase, and Newbee ban Morphling and Razor. Okay, there's Morphling. Alright, so now Aster banned Timbersaw, but are they going to let them do the, are they going to let them do the same thing again? Well, I guess it's a little... No, it's not. It's exactly the same. So they could ban Timber if they wanted. But maybe they ban Troll instead. At this point, can we just have the same draft? Can we just agree? And, just open up your chat box. Just say, hey, guys, you want to do the exact same draft? All right, let's remake all pick. We'll just do the same draft. We'll just go again. Maybe we can just do this grand finals with one draft for all 5 games. Sure would make my life easier. Okay, now never mind. So Troll is gonna get banned out, and with that we have the first deviation. And Odie's still gonna get banned anyway, and Newbee take their Timbersaw. Okay. So with that, we are now in a completely different world from the first game. Looks like again it is going to be your support Puck. Could be mid if Newbee really want to play some kind of like hyper carry or something in the safe lane, but I think likely just going to be YC's hero again. And now what do Aster? I guess we have to see what they like against Timbersaw. What did they pick against it previously? Were they the ones that played the Monkey King against the? Yeah. They had the Monkey King when they played against Keen's Timber yesterday. So it could be something that we look at, but instead, just gonna go for the Bloodseeker. Okay, they do have pretty strong like bullying lane supports, so that's gonna help enable the Bloodseeker a little bit more, and of course the Rupture just gonna be super annoying for Timbersaw to play against. Last overall pick of the draft going to Newbee, so probably just going to take their carry here. So what carries are good against Bloodseeker? Or what? I don't know about meta carries. Wraith King, CK. What else? Like the illusion carries are not that bad versus Bloodseeker. Do they have? I think they've got enough lockdown between the puck and the lich. I don't think they necessarily have to get a ton more. But wow, Gyrocopter is the selection from Newbee. Why is everybody playing Gyrocopter today? What is it about today that everyone's like, oh yeah, Gyrocopter's a hero. Let's pick that. I don't know if Newbee are now planning on trying to go aggro try. I don't think Bloodseeker is particularly good in a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation. So could be a good time to try and go aggro try. And then Aster would have to come up with some kind of hero to 1v1 the Timbersaw, of which there are not that many options that I know of. So, oh, did I not give you guys game sound? My bad. Have some game sound.
Dire team banned.
Okay.
Spirit.
Now a Storm Spirit. All right. I guess there isn't that much lockdown for him. It's good against the Timber. Gyro doesn't really do too much to him. So that doesn't just mean that they're picking the probably XXS hero
10
last,
seconds remaining.
just to 100% secure that they could get
5
the Storm
seconds
Spirit
remaining.
this game. So what do Newbee do then? They could pick like a Quaswex Invoker mid. What else? There are some heroes that give Storm like a hard time in lane, but then in terms of the overall game, they're not so annoying
Radiant
for him.
team
I guess they do have the, they got the Lich and the Puck. They can potentially catch this Storm. He's gonna have to, he can't play like a total crazy person, but still seems like he should have a decent amount of freedom. And they can always have the Shadow Shaman running around and setting up ganks, and then Storm just zipping in.
10 seconds.
But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna pick to, if it comes to it, what they're gonna pick to 1v1 the Timbersaw, or if they are just gonna run dual lanes and let Newbee tri-lane if they want to. I don't think they should fight the tri-lane versus tri-lane. It's just Bloodseeker such a weird hero for that kind of thing. So okay, TA is the ban. I mean, what they could pick. They could even pick a Baden again, but I don't think that's probably not a good 1v1 versus Timber. They could just pick something that can like backlane as well, and then that'll force Timber into deciding whether or not he wants to chase that hero around or just take the full wave worth of farm himself. Like I have no idea if Axe is a hero at the moment, but maybe that's the kind of thing that they could consider. They would love the Batrider if they could have it, but I don't think Batrider's making it through this entire series. So XXS, what interesting hero are you gonna play? Are you about to bust out the position 3 Void Spirit again? No, okay, it's just an Omni Knight. Alright. And Newbee, what is the AQ hero going to be? Are they just going to pick Medusa in this spot? Medusa does not really care that much about getting ruptured. That is one hero that
10 seconds
certainly
remaining.
does not mind. It used to be a pretty good laning matchup versus the Storm, but
5 seconds
Mystic Snake is not so much of an obstacle these days, so or not as much. So I don't know. That is definitely like AQ's style, though, to just pick some mass farmer. And, Gyrocopter's relatively hard carry, but I think he can be a little bit more active this game, so maybe they can just put the game in AQ's hands if there is something that they feel like is just the right hero for the situation. Ember Spirit. No, man, that ain't it. No, all right, Aster one. This hero is Garbo at the moment. What is this about? Why are you picking Ember Spirit? He's got like a. I'm gonna look it up now before I'm gonna back my flame up with some stats, but I personally do not believe in Ember at all currently. Like, I don't think that this hero is very good. the spirit power ranking at the moment definitely goes like Void Spirit, Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit, Earth Spirit. Where is Ember? Here, I'll sort by win rate lowest. Yeah, there you go. 36.36% win rate in pro games this patch. That's over 66 games. That's pretty bad. Among heroes that have a worse win rate than him, most of them only have like 20 games. Like, you know, Io has 29 games. He's got a 31% win rate. Though, you know, Abaddon is right next to him with a 37% win rate, and Abaddon did just win that previous game, so, you know, maybe I shouldn't put too much stock in the stats, but I have seen Ember picks not work out. In fairness, some teams do try and run it safe lane, and I have some serious issues with safe lane Ember. I don't think that's ever the way to go, but even the mid lane Ember this game, I'm a little bit hesitant about. I can kind of see the idea with like the burst magical damage against the Aster heroes, and like maybe you get,
I love this part.
I don't know, do you get Flame Guard DPS and just a BKB and just try and run down the supports? I think the Searing Chains this game might be a little bit of a trap. You're like, oh, I need to lock down the Bloodseeker and I need to lock down the Storm Spirit, but
Huzzah!
I don't know if that's the way to play. We'll see. We'll see. As you can tell, I do not have a ton of confidence, but Newbee, still only game 2. Even if they lose this one, still an opportunity to take this out to a full 5 games. What time is it now? It's almost 8 o'clock here.
30 seconds to battle.
So, you know, I'll probably get to bed before midnight. It'll be okay. There's some good Dota to cast. I just had some caffeine just before, so it's fine. We're fine. Okay, we got a little reversal on the outposts. And Aster still not choosing to place down their wards just yet. Now they do. What are we doing lane-wise? So Newbee are not going aggro try. It is actually just going to be Timber in the side lane, or in the off lane. And Fade is... what's he up to here? Are they just trying to run down Fade? Oh, they missed the impetus shot up the hill. Alright, well, it probably wouldn't have been a kill anyway, but... sucks for Bavoka, missing out on some damage like that. Oh, Courier's coming. Alright, so Faith won't be able to walk his way top, just has to TP. Yeah, I also don't have a ton of faith in Gyrocopter either, so... I guess overall my confidence in Newbee's draft is a little bit low, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe they can make it work. They certainly looked good in the previous game, up until the moment where they stopped looking good, and then very, very rapidly lost the game. Wizard taking a lot of hits from Bavoka here. This is only the level 1 reactive. Making a ton of space for the Bloodseeker. And Fade, slightly different approach this time around, has picked up the headdress early on. How's the mid lane going? This is actually kind of a cool matchup to watch. I should probably keep my eyes here a little bit more. As I say that, AQ is taking a ton of damage, and now we've got another overload coming in. He's forced to use the Fairy Fire. Running uphill, does manage to dodge, and there's the salve getting forced out. But Storm's not going to let him back into the lane, and also manages to cancel the salve. Now popping his own salve. Slight's on cooldown, he can't cancel it. The whole creep wave dies to the tower, so now Storm has a half a level advantage, and he's just not going to let him back in. So Storm got the experience for that. I don't think Ember got it. Oh boy. Oh boy.
To teach.
Alright, well, Ember gets the consolation prize. Arcane Rune for him, but that is not fun. So this salve is like just gonna end up being really poor trades. So got a Mango and a salve also coming in for the Storm Spirit, but his bottle is gonna be pretty quick. I don't know, maybe 4-minute rune or something didn't work out. I don't think this matchup is supposed to go like this. He ran forward because he wanted that range creep and just got smacked. Moogie only has 7 CS. Oh boy.
You have been denied.
Radiant's
Courier
courier
down at
has
bottom.
been killed.
Triple C's pretty fast. Wizard trying to escape does get out of the blood right, but Baboka's still going to chase him down. This is some pretty decent damage that he's throwing at, and Baboka does also have a salve. Needing to get some health back, otherwise Triple C is just going to be going super speed. They're trying to chase down Baboka, but now he's salving, and Triple C's found his target. Not the best jump from the puck. It looks like this is going to be our first blood as Baboka snags it. Still chasing down, going to have another impetus shot soon, and gets a ton of range from the timber chain. Oh no, Wizard. Oh boy. Oh, Newbee, are they just that rattled from the previous game? AQ now going to take a ton of damage at mid. Is he dead? He's dead. Solo killed by the Storm Spirit. Oh my word. 2k lead
Dire's
already.
middle tower is under attack.
And Storm gets the bottle delivered, and he's gonna get the full refill from this haste. Oh god. Can Ember even come back to this lane now? I don't even think he can. Alright, he's gonna TP in, but like I think he might just die when Storm gets 6. Maybe they need to hold up a TP somewhere. Like Faith needs to hold up, needs to try and get level 3 and hold up a TP with Sinister Gaze available, because otherwise this Ember's game is
Radiant structures are fortified.
just over. Yeah, there's 6. So what's happening over here? They want this bounty. 3-man attack. Success and a bit of danger. Missile coming through. He does have the purification if he can get it off. Stick charges as well, plus the purification surviving. Fade coming around. Gonna look for the turnaround here, as now they've got the Storm Spirit with his haste TPing top. Looks towards the first kill. That's gonna be Faith. Leaves it for his team, perhaps? No. Just gonna take the kill. And then haste his way back to mid. Baboka has found his new favorite pastime, just throwing spears at Wizard. Whoop. Haste.
Over here.
Say goodbye again, Mr. Ember Spirit. Did get the Flame Guard up, but I don't see how he plays his way out of this one, and that is going to be a killing spree already for the Storm Spirit. What's happening? They're going an exit test again top. Alright, if they could get this, that would be good. Alright, that's nice for Moogie for sure. Gets the last hit, gets a little bit of gold going for himself. Wizard's salving up down here, but Baboka, he's got a plan. And they've got the Blood Rage on the Enchantress as well. Wizard has max reactive armor stacks right now, but is that going to be enough for him? He's going to get silenced. As Triple C still chasing. I don't think he can quite finish this kill with just auto attacks. They need another impetus shot, and they won't be able to get it. But this Timber is getting completely zoned out. Maybe I'll switch it back to last hits denies. Ember's game. Not looking good. At least he can kind of jungle up a bit. But Storm Spirit with this kind of a start. That's going to be very problematic if you were a newbie. And like even with all this pressure top lane, Success is still finding good levels.
Now
He's up here with a Wild Wing Ripper. Alright, YC quickly deals with that.
Dire's structures are fortified.
What's happening, bot? Bloodseeker's almost level 6. If they kill a creep, he could get the Rupture. Going on Success, but this puck is taking a ton of damage. Omni Knight's got a 10 stick. I think he's going to survive here. And now Storm Spirit looking for the turnaround. Moogie is the target. would hurt so much to lose the gyrocopter like this.
The man down.
And that is already a dominating streak for the Storm. Nothing that Ember could do to stop that. And nothing that he can really do to threaten the tower at this moment either. You can just take a couple of free creeps. Rupture came out at bottom, and that is going to be a kill on Wizard. And now Aster with a 7-1 lead.
Healing shock.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Like what do
Dire's
Newbee do?
top
Where
tower
does the
is under
playmaking
attack.
come from? It's supposed to be the Ember, but everyone is having such a hard game. I'm tempted to say that they're kind of losing all 3 lanes. Ember does have himself a arcane rune, but can they actually get anything? Might have to wait till 10 minutes, get a tome on one of the supports. Do something then. This is going to be a very fast Kaya for the Storm Spirit. Even the Bloodseeker farming really nicely. Already has this Javelin picked up. Fade just picking up some levels by running pulls all the while. Wizard still working on his Soul Ring.
Radiant's middle tower
Okay,
is under
they are
attack.
smoking up. Was this scouted? Probably not. Okay, they really want to kill the Bloodseeker, but what's the lockdown? 1 point in Sinister Gaze and some
Dire's
slows.
top tower is under
There is a
attack.
Rupture up again for SWC. Aggressive Timber Chain forward. Wizard trying to bait a little bit for this, but is it actually going to end up being a bait? Fades down here. Jumper to the back lines. AQ looking for the kill on the Shadow Shaman, but they've almost got the Timber Saw already. Is it going to be enough damage? Wizard might be too tanky. And they drag the Shadow Shaman back in. SCCC still quite fast. And they don't really have lockdown for him, so looks like he might just be able to walk this one off. It's only the Shadow Shaman who dies for a 4-man rotation to bottom, though. They do respond with a TP on XXS, so I suppose it's 4v4. Mugi gonna go and hold on to the mid-tier 1 tower in the meantime. A little hot dodge. Yeah, nice. 10-minute rune is going to be a little bit of bad luck for Chuan there. But there's some bounty runes for him anyway, so that's not a big deal.
Invisibility. Stupendous.
Radiant's top tower
Fade.
is under attack.
The Hex, and he just needs to immediately jump out of there. Can't let the Shackle and the Electric Vortex land. That could have been the end of him. Storm was maybe a bit low on mana to finish that kill, but... and yeah, Ember had a raindrop and a big wand, so I think he would have been fine, but... Still sucks that now nobody is taking any farm top. He's just trapped on the bottom side of the map with the rest of his team. So that's sort of some resources that are being wasted. That's kind of his
Radiant
allocated
structures
lane
are
currently,
fortified.
and instead coming over here, he's sort of taking farm away from somebody else who would be
Radiant's
farming back
bottom
over this
tower
way.
is
Like
under
they might
attack.
stack this again, and Gyrocopter was supposed to clear it or something like that. Anywho, big rotation bottom from Newbee trying to pick up this tier 1 tower. Looks like it is just going to be kind of a tier 1 for tier 1 trade. Fade could consider using the
Radiant's
Mass Serpent
bottom
Wards
tower
for this,
is under
so I
attack.
don't know if it's totally necessary since
Dire's
they have the
top
siege
tower
creep as
is
well.
under attack.
They could even consider... Do they have a ward? They could consider warding and then trying to drop snakes on the tier 2
Dire's top tower
for some kind
has
of a
fallen.
reaction, but... He's sort of thinking about it. Let's see what they do. Royal Jelly for the Ember. And can they get this D-ward? Alright, they're gonna get the D-ward quickly.
Dire's top tower
Spot
is
the Ember
under
coming
attack.
over. Just gonna snag the outpost first. And Fade looking for a deep ward. Gets it down. Ember should be safe here. I don't think they're gonna try and go on him, but Aster getting a good foothold going in the Dire jungle. Very, very standard stuff. SCCC able to just walk in here and take the outpost back, though. Newbee really retreating onto their side of the map. Already down by 5k gold, almost 4k experience, and graph looking very similar to the previous game, but this time around in Aster's favor. And I think I maybe agree with it a little bit more this time around, already kind of being at that 75% at this point. Newbee smoking up. They've at least got the 1 point in the Searing Chains now, trying to get some use out of these ultimates. They've got a Dream Coil and a Chain Frost that they really want to use. They spot these two supports mid. They're going to drop the Chain Frost down, and that should be the end of Fade and Baboka. But Tron's jumping in. They're going to find Faith first, looking for a little bit more. Can they get AQ? He's being ruptured up, needs to jump away. There's the Remnant, but Wizard left down in the river. Can't escape from the wrath of this Storm Spirit. And it looks like Storm still wants a little bit more. Mugi hanging on to that call down, waiting for the right time to maybe turn this fight. But for now, they're just going to have to settle for a little bit of harassment, and it will just end up being that 2-for-2 trade. Fade did buy back in the midst of all of that. I should have opened up. I don't know if... Oh, wait, is there a fight recap? There you go. So, overall, actually gold favoring Newbee because of the buyback, and got quite a bit of experience, so kind of even given the situation, and very nice that they got to use the support ultis so effectively. They still have these Mass Serpent Wards sitting on Fade. He hasn't used for a bit. But Storm is just getting bigger and bigger, and Bloodseeker's already got his Maelstrom, so he's farming pretty fast, making his way through the jungle. Faith wants to recapture this outpost, but Aster just charging straight at him. He's looking very dead. Pull back. X6 happy to just snipe that kill. Puck TPing up here, but it's only to hold on to the tower. Can they fight? Ember seemingly wants to. It's a double damager and waiting for him at bottom. But once Storm gets this one, everybody on the map is just food. Mugi just rushing BKB, realizing that the situation in this game, they need to be able to fight sooner rather than later. They can't just afford to sit around twiddling their thumbs. They're just going to get out-farmed and not going to have the answers for a late-game Storm Spirit in this game. Success, just going for a pipe, deal with all this magical damage. It's two. It's a double damager and waiting for him at bottom. But once Storm gets this one, everybody on the map is just food. Mugi just rushing BKB, realizing that the situation in this game, they need to be able to fight sooner rather than later. They can't just afford to sit around twiddling their thumbs. They're just going to get out-farmed and not going to have the answers for a late-game Storm Spirit in this game. Success, just going for a pipe, deal with all this magical damage. Back into the game. This is what happens when Storm Spirit has this good of a start. I don't know what happened. It isn't even actually raining or storming outside. There may have been a big lightning strike somewhere else, and it just knocked out my power for a second. But we're coming back, getting Dota open right now, and hopefully we will not have missed too much. Why don't I have an uninterruptible power supply? Well, somebody start a crowd fund. All right, we're back. What did I miss? I don't think the game state has changed too much. Net worth plateauing a little bit. Experience swinging back. They must have gotten an important kill. Okay, Storm died. So the Storm killed my internet, and apparently that also killed Storm. Okay, let's close that. Okay, I think we're now all good. Right, so Storm died, but he still almost got Orchid. Ember's got his Maelstrom now, so it looks like he may have been the one to pick up that kill, perhaps.
Radiant's bottom tower
JR-Copter
is under
also
attack.
has a little bit more gold, but yeah, it seems like Ember's jumped a bit on the power rankings, so there you go.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Fade's got his Aether Lens. There's some good Radiant Vision down here. They know what's going on. Aster thinking about running in. They do have a TP available for their Shadow Shaman. Aster sizing up this fight. What kind of jump can they get? They didn't get the immediate Orchid, but now they find it on the puck, dragging them both back into the silence. The Wizard's being ruptured. Can't really escape that far. There is an immediate buyback. They want to take this. Can they focus on the Bloodseeker? They're dragging him into the call, and he's got a big stick, but is that going to be enough? Dream Coil now popped onto him. Wizard getting locked down, but the immediate silence onto Storm Spirit, along with the Dream Coil, the turnaround from Newbee, as now they're going to find a fourth double kill for AQ. Fighting with their backs up against the outpost. Storm not finding the jump that he really needed, and Newbee proving to be just a little bit too tanky. So much damage being done by the Ember in that fight. Gyrocopter and Lich carrying their weight as well, and Aster not tanky enough to sustain, especially after Puck comes back in with the Veil.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, we are on the road to recovery for Newbee. Why is my taskbar? Windows broken?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, I think. I did warn you guys. I did say that if my power goes out, okay, he is going for the Flame Guard DPS plus BKB build. So just run down the supports in the back lines. Storm being a little bit greedy, not going to go for a BKB. We'll just be going for this this Bloodstone next.
Stupendous.
Fate's got a 4-step. Rumbling happening. Please, can this Storm just go somewhere else? I just want to cast some dotes for the boys.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Fade gets the lockdown. Jump in here. Can they get the Gyrocopter? Faith not even dead yet. A lot of trepidation on the part of this Storm Spirit. Did not want to commit hard for the kill. Meanwhile, Puck continuing to just do Puck things, shoving out this bottom lane. BKB almost up for the Ember, really making the recovery. And what's that? Is that a full Lotus Orb picked up for Wizard? He's actually catching up pretty nicely after a very average start. But we do also have a BKB for the Bloodseeker, so not gonna happen again that SCCC gets burst in that way. And Aster, so they have some vision to smoke too. The line's being drawn. They want to head around, check out the mid lane first, see if anyone's gonna come and push here, and then try and find something. We're looking for fast fingers from Fade. Smoke breaks. Are they gonna jump up the hill, give the vision? Yes, they are. There's the Hex. Timbersaw thought he was gonna be safe. Chain Frost now coming out. Bloodseeker hasn't got the BKB off yet, and instead it's just going to be a BKB TP from SCCC, as they've also got XXS caught out a little bit further back. Clumsy net coming through, and that'll be the end of him. Newbee punish hard, and Timbersaw standing in exactly the right place to tank that game. I thought they were going to get it, but it turns out he's just a bit too tanky. And Faith also in a good spot to quickly throw out the Frost Shield, throw out the ulti. Now Newbee starting to siege onto the tier 2. Aster can't fight without this Bloodseeker BKB, so still at least 30 seconds before they can make any kind of a play. Dreamcoil comes out. They're looking for the Bloodseeker. They know that he doesn't have the BKB. They're just going to try and focus him on the high ground. Mispositioning from SCCC as Newbee punished quickly. They've got another creep wave coming in. Bloodseeker dead for 40 seconds, and they've got the Timbersaw. He can tank everything. They need the Storm Spirit back here, but Chuan didn't even think that he was going to be needed. His TP is on cooldown for a minute. He's having to walk all the way, and with that, Newbee are just going to take this lane of racks. Fade is the next target. Can they keep him alive? He's slowed down so much by the Chakram, but will be able to walk it off. Timbersaw getting shackled, but what does it really matter? Storm Spirit finally arriving, but even if he locks down the Puck or the Lich, the other one's just going to disable him. Lich, Sinister Gaze coming off cooldown now. There's the Fear Storm Spirit. Over aggressive, they lose the racks. Now Storm dead for 50. Tried to make a play, and the Newbee swinging this game back just non-stop. I don't even, I can see why he wanted to go, but also they'd already lost the lane of racks. The Bloodseeker hadn't quite respawned yet. It was just, it seemed like he kind of threw his life away a little bit. And all of a sudden, we've got Moogie and AQ as the top two on the net worth. Okay, well, Aster, they made a bit of a comeback in the previous game, and they may have to do just that again here. Fade getting picked off, XXS trying to save him, but now he's just put himself in harm's way. That homing missile's getting redirected onto him, and AQ's going to keep on chasing with this Arcane Root. Dun coming through, SCCC throws out the Rupture, but it's not really going to matter. AQ's just going to stand his ground and fight. They will end up losing the Lich, but AQ just jumping backwards. SCCC with the BKB, trying to see if he can finish this kill. AQ not dead yet. Getting a little bit of healing off the bottle. He's also got the stick charge. SCCC's fast buyback, I believe, from XXS. And this is the last little bit of mana that the Storm Spirit has in the tank, but they will get the Gyrocopter. The two big cores dead, and both of them going into the hands of SCCC as he claims his place on the top spot, net worth-wise. Okay, so good Rupture. Tons of damage dealt by SCCC, just committing with his BKB, and now they head into the pit. If they can get this Aegis on the Storm Spirit, that would be a huge grab. It's being scanned. They do have this dire outpost, so could potentially go for some buybacks, but it looks like Newbee just gonna maybe try and snipe it here, but Timbersaw goes straight in. Double buyback coming through. Newbee gonna look to fight this. It's a 4-man Dreamcoil, but they've already lost the Timber. Now Puck just barely managing to jaunt away. Will survive. Storm needing to be careful. Has to come back and pick this up. There's the Aegis. Does not have a whole lot of mana. Newbee thinking about fighting. Will they? Won't they? Rupture on Moogie. He's trapped. And Aster not willing to throw away this Aegis advantage for this fight. Just going to back themselves up. Now bringing it back to about a 1k lead for them. Timber a bit overconfident. Just Timber chaining straight into a Hex. I mean, good reactions from Fade, but probably needed to put the Lotus on himself or do something, but did end up looking like just a little bit of a feed. Spider Legs, Moogie Stash. What else is going on? So yeah, we do have this BKB for AQ. That first 10-second charge not really being as useful as he may have maybe liked. Just because he was completely locked down by the Rupture, getting wailed on by this Bloodseeker, who does almost have his full Mjolnir. And I imagine after that, SCCC maybe look to the Basher, something along those lines. Ooh, again, Enchanted Quiver for Boboka. Very nice. Maybe Storm Spirit will take it, but seems pretty value for Yeah, seems pretty value for Ench, given that it gives you the 300, or the plus 400 range. What has Puck got? Just a blink, looking for some Boots of Travel next. Gonna be a pretty long time before the Ag's recoil. BKB for the Storm Spirit. Alright, so after these last couple of fights and dying to that Lich, Storm is gonna give up on the Bloodstone Dream and just go for the BKB. I do think there's an argument to be made, like, oh, you have Aegis, maybe you should just get the Bloodstone, but these last few fights have just been so hard for him that I think this is a very reasonable decision that he's making. Ember, what's the next item progression after that? He is looking towards the Aghanim Scepter. Aster just slowly making, kind of meandering their way top. Gonna take this outpost along the way. We got 30-minute outposts along with bounty runes coming up soon, so probably Newbee just taking the Radiant side of the map, Aster taking top side.
Top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Just easily sieging this out. I do not think Newbee are going to fight into the Aegis. I think that would be a catastrophic decision.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
This is thunder. Can you guys hear that? Is that getting picked up on the mic? It's still pretty far away. The time between the lightning flash and the thunder is still a while. Oh. Timber just barely getting out there. So how long on the Aegis? Only another minute and a half. So not too long for Newbee to wait this out. Their next round of items is not that crazy good. I feel like this Ags on the Ember and the Ags on the Gyrocopter are nice, but I think less impactful than the recent round of items that Aster have just gotten. So we'll see if that's going to start favoring Aster in these upcoming fights. Aster not being the best about smoking on top of sentries. Does look like Newbee have spotted this one, and yeah, the scan is going to reveal the course that they're taking.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
So they just come in afterwards, start clearing out the bottom side of the map, and it looks like both teams are going to get an outpost
for the twins.
For themselves. 2 bounty runes apiece as well. Is Triple C actually going to finish up the full S and Y? I guess why not? But also, is there much reason to? It's not like he needs to carry around this Quelling Blade. He could just get a different item. I feel like he could just buy Basher. But maybe wants that little bit more survivability just to be able to stall on the BKB, or he's planning that, you know, Puck is eventually going to have this Aghanim Scepter, so he just wants bulk status resistance to try and deal with that, so he can just sort of run, snap it, and then still be able to fight afterwards. What do we got? Oh, we got a... What the heck is this? I just clicked on Baboka for the first time in a little while, and like all of a sudden he has a full MKB and a Vlad's, and he's running around with this gem. Where did this guy get so much net worth? I guess the same thing kind of happened in the previous game as well. Or I don't think XXS had as many items, but like... What the heck? This Enchantress is huge. Alright, well, keep your eyes peeled for Baboka in his upcoming fights. They can even just give him a Blood Rage and he can go to town. So it looks like they're... What? So they didn't get anything out of the Aegis, really.
Tower has fallen.
He's just been sitting down here cutting waves at bottom for a very long time, and Aster finally sick of the shenanigans. Gonna put the high ground ward in the anti-tinker spot. See what they can do after that. Wizard is going back for some Guardian Greaves here. Guess just another Dispel. Definitely going to be useful. Spirit almost has the Bloodstone. Getting there.
Radiant
And
are
Gyrocopter
scanning.
with the Aghanim Scepter, the much more significant item going to be coming up after that as he goes for the Satanic Will. His damage not really growing that much with this build. So survivability might be enough. You know, Storm's only got a limited mana pool, so if you can just tank through everything, and if you get Ruptured, just stand there and stand your ground against the Bloodseeker, then I think that will be fine. And SCCC is going to go for the Abyssal Blade after finishing up that SNY. Newbee backing up. Puck's still not with them. Did they not even have a smoke? Oh, they do have a smoke.
Radiant's top tower is under
I'm not sure if
attack.
they want to use it. This might be their last smoke before this next Rosh comes up. Invis for the Storm Spirit. Do we have some wards to plant? Not really. Okay, so this move from Aster, they can't really establish themselves in this area too much. It would be great if they could get some more wards down in anticipation of this next Rosh, but we will probably have some fighting for this top outpost. And Newbee looking to force bottom far enough in to force a bit of a reaction. Also unfortunate for Aster that they have already lost that mid lane of Rack, so that's going to take a little bit of extra maintenance in these upcoming fights. Makes it makes the Newbie split push more effective, because there's just passive split push happening on the mid lane that they kind of have to deal with. And Ember kind of going defensive items, looking towards the Lincolns next. Oh, there's double damage outside Rosh. When's Rosh? Minute.
Dire's middle tower
Not
is
too
under
bad.
attack.
But they do have that DD bottled. Are we missing any neutrals? Nope, we got everything tier 3. Tier 4 is still a little while away. Nobody's using the spider legs on the side of Newbee. I find that a little bit surprising. Is this Ring of Aquila really that? I guess
Dire's
Ember really
top
doesn't need the
tower
spider
is
legs
under
that
attack.
much. Wizards opting to keep the Clumsy Net. We do have the Aghanim Scepter for the Puck now. Alright, they back all the way up to their high ground and now go for the smoke. What can they find? Storm Spirit would be a very juicy target. Do they see him? They do not. But they see a remnant now. I gotta know that something's going on. And bottom and mid are both pressured all the way in, so they have to know that
Radiant
Aster have to go back and defend that.
are scanning.
Just charging straight towards them. They put the ward up on the high ground. Wizard's the one carrying those. XXS is going to be the target. You get the fear back on the Bloodseeker. Can you get the BKB off? He does, but he's being dream curled. Just has to turn and try and fight this one out, but Moogie's a little bit too tanky. He's just going to stand his ground. Storm Spirit's not here. He has to TP in a little bit late. Buyback now coming through from XXS. Trying to find his target. He pops the BKB. It is just the Lich, but Faith isn't dying. He's splitting his damage among multiple heroes. In the backlines, we do have AQ in a bit too deep and getting hexed by Fade. Ember Spirit completely just leaving his team to dive underneath that tower. And it does get brought down. Dead for 100 seconds. And this is right as Roshan respawns.
Where's my
I guess Aster haven't checked it yet, but... what on earth? And he'd already used his BKB, so his BKB just ran out, and then he got hexed, and that was the end of it. He may have gotten bashed, like... no, because the Ember, the Bloodseeker was here, right? The Bloodseeker wasn't even...
Dire's middle
I have no
tower
idea.
is under attack.
Well, with that, Aegis for Aster.
Brutality is mine.
Another Aegis on the Storm Spirit. Bloodseeker gonna get harder to kill, tanking up even more. Gonna have his Abyssal Blade before too long. Bottom lane, Lich getting caught out. Put another one in the Bloodstone. Twan. And just gotta have to wait around for a little bit now if you're Newbee. Not a whole lot else to do. Bottom lane's gonna
Dire's
get
middle
pushed
tower
in.
is under attack.
Looks like just by Storm Spirit as SCCC takes out this mid tier 2. I don't think they can get racks. Probably aim to
Dire's
take
middle
out
tower
this
has
tier 2 at the very least. just put themselves in this position where if they win the important team fight, can get close to taking Mega Creeps. Storm Spirit almost has level 25, so once he gets that auto remnant, just becomes an absolutely disgusting hero. I wonder if the Shadow Shaman will get banned next game.
Dire's bottom tower
Just for the sake of AQ, because it just feels like both games, it's just being fade on the Shadow Shaman. Like this, look, you got a 7k net worth hero, finds one disable on a hero double his net worth, and like that has been the game-winning factor potentially in game 1 and potentially game 2. You know, it's not over yet. We're still some fight execution and stuff ahead of us, but this Storm Spirit is just getting very scary. And I don't think Ember is quite scaling in the same way.
Illusion.
Look at this Enchantress. What the heck? How does Baboka, like, how does this man just queue up queue up a Moonshard? Like, what? And they're getting really close. Okay, Moogie's been ruptured. Can they keep him alive? The pole grabs the Storm Spirit back, but these Force Staffs aren't really helping out the Gyrocopter. He's going to stand his ground with the BKB and try and fight. They've got the Mass Serpent Wards up here. Ember Spirit trying to go into the back lines and lock down Fade. His BKB's only got another second or so, so he has to jump all the way back into the base. Fade's found him again. That's going to set up the Storm Spirit to jump in. Can they get this turnaround? Storm looks like he might lose his life. XXS doing his best. Not gonna happen. Wizard is just getting chunked by Baboka, and SCCC full HP, just hitting onto the tier 3 tower. Storm Spirit's back. They will not quite be able to get this, but still, I guess a very successful hold for Newbee. They pop the Aegis, they don't lose anybody. Have to consider that a win, though we're just seeing how much trouble the Ember is having in these fights. He knows that he has to kill Shadow Shaman in the duration of his BKB or he's done, and he just can't do it. The Omni Knight is too useful to keep Fade alive. Even once you get into the backlines, you just have to contend with the Omni Knight. Really the problem that they're running into here. And now the Abyssal Blade is up. That's going to make life so hard for Ember. I think SCCC can just hunt him here. Like, don't even bother with the Gyrocopter. Just kill the Ember first. They've got a board up in this high ground. Dream Coil comes in. Can they kill the Shadow Shaman this time around? They get him. There is a buyback available. Jump in straight on top of the puck. Jian hasn't quite decided on his target just yet. SCCC, man fighting against Mookie. They've got the Bashes. He's got the Abyssal Blade. He hasn't used it. He doesn't have the mana for it. Baboka losing life in the back line. But SCCC still just fighting to the bitter end. He's still got this cheese. They can't do anything about the Bloodseeker. It's way too much damage. Gyrocopter's dead. Meanwhile, Baboka finally starts to get the opportunity to lay in with the auto attacks. SCCC does have this Abyssal Blade, hiding them out a little bit. Now he gets speared, jumps in on top of the Lich. Storm Spirit also jumping in, maybe a bit too far. AQ wants him, is going to bring him down with that BKB. Another buyback, this time from the Storm Spirit, as Ember with the long jump all the way back into the base. Fade has found himself a target. It is going to be Wizard. Baboka's there with the Rainbow Spears. Aster bring him down as well. What are they going to go for? Do they just take multiple lanes, or do they just go end? Okay, they take the tier 3, and then they're like, wait, just go end. And with that, Aster have done it! Again, it looks not so great for a little while. They started off strong, then some stuff happened with the disconnect, who knows. They lost some heroes. All of a sudden, Newbee took the first lane of Rax, and Aster make the comeback. Well, I feel justified in my flame of Ember Spirit. With that, Ember Spirit's win rate in this patch goes down even further. That might even be a whole percentage point. I still just don't have a whole lot of belief in this hero. You know, buff him, please. Bring back Crit Ember. Do something, because he needs some help. And also, I don't know if this Shadow Shaman is making it through in the next draft, which could very well mean that we see a very different draft next time around. Or it could be the exact same first 10 decisions as it was in as it was in the first game, because that's what happened here. Thank you guys for watching. Apologies about the disconnection, but you know, not a whole lot that I can do when there's a thunderstorm outside. But appreciate you tuning in. These have been some pretty good games so far, but we might not get too many more, as Aster now up 2-0. And if you're Newbee, this has got to be just, these are tough losses as well. It's not like, oh, we got outdrafted and it was like a quick 20-minute loss. These have both been games where at points they have definitely been in the lead, though, you know, this game not as much with that early game. And they take that first lane of racks and then still lose the game. So I think at this point some kind of change is required from Newbee, and maybe we'll see something different. They're gonna have to take 5, you know, hit the drawing board and see what they can come up with if they want that chance to actually participate in the minor. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys back here in a couple of minutes.
Make the ground shake.
here with you now. See your face in the crowd, but you don't seem so far away. Nothing between us is empty space, empty space. Even when the music is loud, I'd rather be no other place. Here with you now, here with you now. Here with you now. Here with you. Rather be no other place than here with you now. Place than here with you. I see your face in the crowd, but you don't seem so far away. Nothing between us is empty space, empty space. Even when the music is loud, I'd rather be no other place. Here with you now, here with you now.
Welcome back, everybody. More Dota 2. This could be our last game for the day, for the night, for the major and minor qualifiers. It's Aster versus Newbee. We have all of our teams for the major except for the minor winner, and we have all of the teams for the minor except the China qualifier winner, which at the moment, Aster find themselves up 2-0 in this series against Newbee after some pretty spectacular comebacks in both games, though they were winning pretty hard for the first part of game number 2, and then things went off the rails a little bit, and they lost the lane of racks, but they righted the ship, and they rode it out, and some nice plays on the part of Fade put them in a good stead. So we are changing up the draft again this time around. Newbee, however, still going to be on the Dire. Aster still on the Radiant. This time around, Newbee are going to be the ones with first pick. Batrider's still floating around. Oracle's still floating around. Newbee are banning their own heroes. I don't like it when teams do this. I don't know if Aster are really super prioritizing the puck. But there you go. They're at least going to do something a little bit different. So Aster could take the Shadow Shaman again if they wanted it. But maybe that's not going to happen. Aster really sitting here thinking about this. They're like, do we let them have the bat and then we just take the Oracle? But what happens if we don't ban either and then they take the Oracle and then we can't really take the bat because the Oracle? So now let's just force them to take the Batrider, I guess. And we can take what we want, which I don't know exactly what that would be. Maybe they take like Disruptor. No, Newbee just take Lich. Wait, why would you just let them have Batrider? Huh? I mean, maybe they have some kind of plan. Are they just gonna like Lich Timber and let Aster have like Batrider Shaman or something? I don't know what the support duo is gonna end up.
10 seconds remaining.
Gonna end up being, but
5
is Lich
seconds
that
remaining.
good? Is Lich really that good that you're just gonna like first pick him here, like this? Or do they just want to be the ones reacting this whole draft? Okay, so Aster take the Rubik, and they take Omni Knight. So nobody wants Batrider. All of a sudden, Batrider goes from like, oh, we got to ban this thing every single game to it's just not getting picked, apparently. Well, okay. So Aster like, look, you can have the bat if you want. We've got our Omni Knight. We've got our Rubik. Take it. I dare you. I double dare you.
Dire team ban.
And Newbee are like, nah, we just want OD. We want a really early OD. Okay, so what? This is like kind of a troll deterrent as well, so Aster can't just do some like Omni Knight troll stuff. And there's still other options. They can still just pick Lifestealer. So what? Newbee have to ban like Lifestealer, and I would guess maybe, I don't know, they get rid of Sniper. Still a Razor in the pool as well. We saw SCCC's Razor absolutely pop off too with any kind of help with some backup from the offlane. So maybe that's where they can go with this.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Okay, Timber banned. Sure, they can't really pick it themselves here. They've already got Omni Knight, and enemy team has OD, so you really don't want it. Alright, I want to see what Newbee think of as like the other OD counters, because I think that's really what they're going to ban here. OD is not a hero that you can pick like this in the same way that you can pick like Timbersaw in this spot, right? Like you pick Timbersaw in this spot, and the enemy team takes a bunch of counter picks, and Timbersaw still does something, right? But OD is not that kind of hero. If you pick OD like this and the enemy team just completely counter picks him, OD is not going to do anything.
Radiant team ban.
Okay, they're also now worried about the Huskar. I think they're worried about like what they would get cheesed by more than what Aster might actually be angling for. Like, why would they not just pick Lifestealer?
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe they just don't play it. They don't favor it as much.
5 seconds.
I guess Newbee
remaining.
with this OD pick probably also telling themselves that they don't have to ban Morphling. Like, they don't have to worry about Morphling as much. I think this does make a little bit of sense in the context of the current meta. Like, you know, people are picking... We've been seeing Void over the last 2 days for this minor qualifier. I do think OD has maybe risen up the priority list a little bit, but I didn't think he'd risen to the point where he would be getting picked in the very first phase. So... And Aster really using a bunch of their reserve time here, thinking about what they want to ban into the pick. Probably just going to take their position 4, or just going to take the position 5, the Boboka hero.
Radiant team pick.
Wyvern band. Interesting.
Dire
Where is this
team
going? Okay, just a Venge pick. This definitely looks like they're trying to do some kind of play fast, win fast. Maybe they're going to pick Drow. I don't know how good Drow is, but the silence is actually pretty nasty for OD to have to play against, and just do some kind of aura-ish strategy.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think Venge is going to be a core. Just certainly playable as a core, but I think it's just the 5
seconds remaining
in this situation. And then what else? And then what would the mid be? I don't know, because I think they still want somebody to really, like, Drow plus Omni Knight. You're not really putting the Heavenly Grace on the Drow and being like, oh yeah, my Drow's fine, she can tank a bunch of damage. I think you still want somebody to kind of get up in the front there. So it would maybe be like Kunkka plus Drow as the way to close out that lineup, but I don't think you really want to pick Kunkka with the OD. I'm just thinking of like, it's a mid that's tanky and it also has catch, and I don't think there are too many of those. Clockwork for Newbee. All right, very like ganky, contest the lanes early on. Nice with OD. You get an imprisonment mid. Clockwork just walks up. Cogs, battery assault. Pretty easy to find kills that way. So Aster now kind of have to be thinking about that in terms of their mid pick. I don't think that's going to push them all the way into going for something like Queen of Pain or anything, but they do have to at least be thinking about those potential ganks with the Clockwork. So either something that can just like spam the wave and then back out. The other way to go here is to maybe take like a Shadow Fiend or something mid, and then they just have the tanky hero be the safe laner, like your Heavenly Grace target. But Aster got to make some decisions. Got to look over that playbook and decide what they were happy with, because they are running low on reserve time. XXS scratching his head, asking his team, and just comes back and picks the Templar Assassin. It's looked very solid. and does get bumped up a bit on priority here. So they do have that last overall pick for the SCCC. And now they've kind of got their bases covered. Like, they got Push, they got Roshan, they got a bit of catch. The supports are okay. No big team fight, but you know, that can be very intentional, as now Newbee just add even more team fight into the pile. Gonna pick up the Darkseer. Okay, so I don't know, is this Darkseer vulnerable to... Still, what is stopping
remaining.
Aster from picking Lifestealer? Why would they not just pick Lifestealer? Is there something I don't
remaining.
like? Isn't Lifestealer just good here? Like, it's good against Darkseer. The magic immunity's good. It's got it just buys Halberd, so it makes OD sad. Like, Lifestealer seems great. No, maybe they ban it. Maybe they're just not thinking about it. So Troll Warlord removed. Definitely a hero that's annoying for TA, the blind, plus just not being able to man fight against him. So
10 seconds.
I do like the ban. Also, just a strong, strong safe laner.
5 seconds.
The
Remaining.
Rubik Omninet lane is good, but they would definitely get more kills against a weaker safe lane hero than the Troll Warlord. So what else? What else is SCCC gonna play here? Like, anti-mage classic lane counter against the Darkseer, but just I don't think that's the kind of game that Aster are playing for here. What else? It's really nice playing against a hero like Darkseer if your carry also has, or just playing safe lane is way easier in general if your carry has some kind of a disable, right? Sven and Wraith King and stuff, not very popular these days, but it's so much harder as an offlaner to play when you can't approach the wave because the carry can be the setup stun, right? If one of the supports has to be the setup stun, then you can just sit there and trade against the carry all day, so long as you know where the supports are. But if you're playing against the carry with the stuns, a very different situation. But I don't think they're going to pick a Wraith King or anything. But what else are they worried about? Like, are they going to ban Dusa? No, okay, they just get rid of Phantom Lancer. Could still Naga if Aster really wants something along those lines. They don't have a whole lot of team fight. They don't have a whole lot of setup. They don't have a whole lot that they would do with the setup. And Newbee are the ones to take the Drow Ranger. Okay, so Drow OD. They may have just denied it from Aster, but I think Aster just picks some up in your face melee carry, whatever they think is best.
10 seconds.
Slark's still in the pool. I don't know if this is a good Slark game, but
5 seconds remaining.
could kind of work. Just pick Lifestealer.
Choose your hero.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with this hero. This is the Lifestealer game of dreams. All right. Look, I don't know about Drow Ranger at the moment. I don't know that much about Darkseer at the moment either. I guess the Darkseer, like the Surge, is going to be kiting, and that's going to be kind of useful, but like, just how do they kill this Lifestealer guy this game? He's just going to buy his Maelstrom Halberd or whatever and just run into fights at top speed. Easy Roshan taking. Lots of sustain. They have no long cooldowns to wait for at all either, so if Sanity's Eclipse ever gets dropped in a bad way, then very easy for Aster to just pick themselves up, brush themselves off, and keep on going. They need some Clockwork ganks early. They need this Clockwork to get loaded up with Ion Shell, and he needs to just go and like destroy other lanes. I think he probably plays... Well, I don't know if he plays bottom at first. Maybe he tries to give, like, dodge a little bit at first and give the Darkseer level 3. And then, like, he grabs level 2, and then he can just grab a level 2 Ion Shell and go somewhere else. But... yeah, this Clockwork and, like, the Darkseer lane is going to be really pivotal. Because the Drow and OD just don't do anything in the early game. Drow is a decent laner, but she's not going to be rotating around and making any, making any plays happen.
Prepare for battle.
Let's get into it. This is what Newbee backs up against the wall. This is what they've gone for. They've taken the OD in the first phase. They've put it in the hands of AQ. He's their greedy mid laner. He's good at these more carry-oriented mid lane heroes. They have really put the game in his hands. They've given him the help that they can, and we'll have to see if that works out. We've got Fade on one of his signatures in the Rubik. It is a pretty mediocre Rubik game, to be honest. Like, yeah, OD spell's pretty good, Lich spell's pretty good, everybody else, bit meh. Maybe he can get an Ion Shell off of the Darkseer and then chuck it on his Lifesteal or something like that. But the lift is at least good, throwing Clockwork around, moving him out of his cogs. That's always a caster classic, bringing that point up. But let's see how this lane goes. YC just starting with a win lane. Are we cap and then cap back? Cap. Is Triple C gonna wait one more time? Baboka's just like, screw it, I'm going for the rune, son.
The battle begins.
Get my magic missile. Yoink. Can he get the other one as well? Oh no, YC, why would you do this? Why would you go for the outpost play? Oh no, did they just get quad bounty rune? They just got quad bounty. And Baboka's still gonna live for a while here. He gets away from the battery assault somewhat. Okay, battery assault runs out. They've got the double Ion Shell running him down, and they will get that first blood, but come on, he just stole what? So that was 200 gold per bounty rune. That's 400 gold for his team, and then that's also 400 gold that the enemy team did not get. No. Immediate rotation mid. Baboka makes his presence felt and just TP's in, lobs the stun at YC. And STRC gonna get this wave under control pretty quickly at bottom. Wizard already done with playing the lane, just gonna go and cut. Alright, the battle continues. Baboka's like, nah, I've got my creeps here to help me out. Good luck with your battery assault. It's still taking a lot of damage, though. He's gonna have another stun in 5. I don't think he dies here. SCCC is not coming to help him, though. That is for sure. But neither is Wizard interested in doing anything. Oh, Lich is dead top. Oh, boy. Fade just ran him down. How does this... I don't understand how this Rubik Omnidot lane just keeps getting so many kills. Like, what are Fade and XXS doing? It's not like they have degen aura that they're lifting him back into or anything. It's just... Anyway. T-Tours, no experience being... a little bit of experience being stolen by the Clockwork, perhaps. He does have level 2 now. Darkseer is just not... He's not playing the lane at all. This is his life now. Dragon creep waves. So where does that leave Clockwork? Just kind of floating around, I suppose.
Illusion.
See, just popping open wounds. Can he heal up? This is certainly a way that Lifestealer is not uncomfortable playing. Is Baboka going to go for these denies? Couldn't quite get the range creeps. Maybe he can get one of these melees. Right. Doesn't have a mango or anything, so Wizard is actually not in any danger at all. Just TP. It's actually Baboka who might end up dying here. Could have just maybe quickly surged the Clockwork and got him in there for the kill, but... Alright, Baboka backs out. And, okay, Clockwork is now top with a Surge and an Ion Shell, but the wave is not in the right position to make this play, so... It's not gonna do anything. How's mid lane going? Pretty even.
Are scanning.
Nothing to really write home about there. Is SCCC... I guess he can't really farm the big camp in between. At least not yet. Once he gets a few more items, then probably. Is that already his Javelin coming out? Yeah. Alright, he's got Jav. That's getting gone, and he's got his double ringer protection. Is that going to save him? Gets him underneath the tower. Why is he still diving for it? But the regen from the Heavenly Grace is enough. Fade's still fighting this out. Mugi throws out a couple more arrows at him. What's happening in mid? we're just right on top of each other, but just a bit of damage being traded. Wizard going back to cutting the lane. doesn't care about Baboka at all. He's actually gonna take his. Oh, okay, no, not gonna happen. Not gonna get the courier. Is he gonna be forced to TP here? SCC having to make the decision between taking some creeps and chasing after the darks here. He's made his choice. Okay, yeah. So now maybe with the javelin, feeling a bit more confident. And actually, Wizard does manage to punch down Baboka's courier, but now Baboka does have this stun ready. Wizard can't afford to stick around here for too long. He does pick up the secondary creep wave. Iron shell. I don't think he's gonna be okay. So nice denies from Baboka though. Maybe another one? No, not quite. What's happening mid? Clocker's trying to gank mid. And Rubik is TPing bottom. He's seeing what's happening with this this Darks here. But there's a dive now happening mid. Assassin getting cogged in, but they immediately break that, get the push back. He does have a fairy fire as well, looking for the turnaround. Faith is also here. Lich loving these rotations to mid lane in this series, but not destined to be. And Lifestealer just free farming at bottom. Got 5-minute bounties coming up. Looks like it is going to be 2-2 at least this time around. Faith comes running in deep. Does manage to snag this one off the Radiant side of the map. What's Darks here going for? Just pick up a raindrop. See. Quickly deals with the iron shell. Keeps on farming.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Javelin's such an annoying item to last hit with, actually. It's the same as just having some random crit. Man, they really want this TA dead at mid. Again with the two-man support gank, and this time around they will be successful. No vision for Tron at mid, unfortunately. Doesn't really know that these ganks are happening. Mugi, almost level 6, which is pretty nice. Looks like YC and Faith actually just gonna keep on playing around here, maybe make a move at bottom, pick up this kill on the Rubik perhaps. SCC is kind of low, but he does have the infest, so it shouldn't really be too much of a problem. And the support's just going to reveal themselves here on the outpost. Get this kill. Oh, they're not in the best position. See, there's the fear. He's got the rage, just kind of running for it, and hops inside a Fade, or just jukes his way back nicely. Nice little use of the tango there. And Lifestealer just waiting to heal back up. Rubik pretty tanky now. Top out. He's going to go for this clockwork. Does he have anything to help him out? He does have the cogs, but SCC staying right on top of him. There's the surge stick charges, and he will survive. Oh. Salve not going to get canceled. That illusion missing its hit uphill. An unsuccessful gank and a sub 7-minute maelstrom for this lifesteal, who is just gonna shove the wave, take the camp, shove the wave, take the camp. Get absolutely enormous farm. Looking pretty dead here. Trying to run to Fade to help him out, but he gets blocked in by the cogs and will get taken down. Lots of pressure. And AQ somewhat interested in what Chuan's doing over in the jungle, kind of wondering why he's not showing up in the lane. But none of this pressure is amounting to anything on the lifesteal. It's really just the supports that are trading their lives back and forth. So I don't think this is too much of a concern for Aster. Omni-Knight at least getting plenty of experience up top. Mugi is somewhat forcing him out, and Aster thinking about making a rotation up here. Maybe a quick stack and then go for the gank. What's the vision situation? There's a ward in the lane for Newbee. Baboka, I don't know if he was spotted there. They see the TA at least. Is that going to be enough? TA trap down, but not going to go for the dive. There is action happening bottom. But Lifestealer just takes out the courier, and that was Darkseer's bottle. They just can't do anything about Lifestealer. There are 3 heroes down here just staring at him. And SCC is just going about his day as if there's no problem at all. Yeah, needs to pop a stick to get the rage off.
is under
Is he
attack.
dead now because he doesn't have mana to infest? No, he's actually fine. Man, this is annoying for them. That there's just 3 heroes spending all their time down here and they can't do anything about the lifestealer. TA just gonna go for Deso first. OD working his way towards a Force Staff. Definitely need a couple of Force Staffs this game against the Aster lineup. Try and kite around these right clickers if they can. And Faith with 2 points in the Sinister Gaze this time around. Definitely a lot of variability when it comes to these Lich skill builds. Newbee are a little bit ahead in experience, actually. The Mango Tree picked up. Bit of a fight breaking out. Wizard not very healthy. Babok is going to come running forward, maybe find him. Get the stun onto YC. Fade also over here. Surge going to last a little while. They just get the toss back onto the Clockwork. And XXS thinking about sniping this outpost at the last second at top. Try and deny that experience away from Newbee. Mugi is moving into position to defend it, though. Just make sure that they do get their experience at the 10-minute mark. And how is this bounty rune battle going to go? Looks like Aster have gotten both at top. Faith wanting to take one at bottom here, but SCCC quickly finishes him off. And looks like this could be 4 bounty runes for Aster. At least Newbee get their experience, but this is going to be this gold lead getting pushed up even further, and Lifestealer just getting more and more huge. I don't even know if you have this good of a start, is there an alternate build that you go for? It used to be that Radiance Lifestealer was pretty popular. I don't think that's really a thing with the new Lifestealer. I guess SCCC is just having a free game, so could mix it up a little bit if you wanted. XXS getting gone on the top. YC able to block him in. Nice Frost Arrow slow down, but Bavoka is here looking for some kind of a turnaround. Does get immediately silenced, won't be able to get the stun out, and nicely done with the multi-shot. Looks like Clockwork might pay here, gets lifted back, and SCCC TPing in just for the last hit. As Newbee seeing that will immediately swap to the bottom lane and look to force this tier 1 for tier 1 trade. Darkseer might consider heading top to hold on to their tier 1 a little bit longer. But they don't really have enough heroes up there, so it looks like they're just going to end up being the trade.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just going to be a Dragon Lance for the Drow Ranger. Could be a pretty good game to pick up a fast Hurricane Pike.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Don't know what else you would consider. Shadowblade seems to have kind of gone out of fashion.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So get that last hit. Nicely done by Mugi. C, I imagine, going to do the same thing. Tower, also Catapult gets it, but nope, grabs it. And it's just going to go straight for the Mjolnir this game. As the Deso is now just about to come up. Darkseer is still working his way towards his mech. Does almost have that one completed. The places that SCCC is able to play this game are just crazy, because they really can't punish him at all. He can kind of go wherever he wants, and what can Newbee do about him? Like, unless they happen to get a silence before he gets the rage off. But other than that, there's like nothing. I guess once Clockwork gets hookshot, then they can at least cancel the rage TP, but yeah, before that point, Lifestealer's just got totally free game. Okay, so clock has 6. Maybe they can go and get some kind of a gank going. With that, they've also got the Chain Frost. Newbee have been quite good at utilizing their support ultimates once they have them available. Not really the same thing for Aster. It's not like you need to go and make good use of spell steal if you can.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, they're looking for something up here. SCCC doesn't have any help, but they've only just gotten vision on him now. Can't really use the hookshot to initiate, so unfortunately just gonna have to let him keep doing what he's doing. XXS takes this as a chance to push out bottom. Aster still just in control of a little bit more of the map, so yeah, doing a bit better, though. Win probability is favoring Newbee. Does seem to like their draft a little bit more. Alright, Clockwork going forward. Clock's pushback, nice defensive swap. Maboka putting his life on the line. And SCCC thanks him by just continuing to keep on farming. Well, at least Newbee takes some control back over their jungle. They got their mech picked up now. This is not a bad timing for them. And they got the Dragonlance on the Drow Ranger. They would love to take this mid-tier 1 tower if they could, but
Dire's bottom
it's gonna
tower
be
is under
easier
attack.
said than done. I'm just kind of waiting for the moment that Aster want to do anything, which is really just around their TA Blink and Lifestealer Halberd timings, I suppose. Maybe Lifestealer is calling for a fight up top to get Speared back in. Do they have enough control? He actually gets silenced. Is this going to be trouble for him? Not really. He just starts chewing through the Clockwork. That silence was not a long enough duration. SCCC can't quite finish the kill, though. Might be looking for an infest out of here. They've got the disables onto the OD. Does have the Sanity's Eclipse, but AQ already forced to run himself out of here. Wizard's really low on mana. Can't really contribute everything that he wants to. And SCCC is just so darn fast. Racing forward into this fight, looking for AQ. There's going to be another slowdown. He does have the imprisonment. That might give him another Force Staff. No, not quite enough. As Faith now tanks the rest of this gank. Putting his body on the line, trying to keep his cores alive. OD is just barely surviving. Darkseer going to get left for dead as he uses the Surge to get the OD out. And Aster just charge in, grabbing that double kill with a Templar Assassin. No blink required. Just the Lifestealer heading the charge at all times. And oh, they find a Grove Bow. Pretty nice. Quickly snag these outposts, and will be both of the top bounties grabbed by Aster, as it looks like Newbee will be able to pick themselves up, brush themselves off, and at least grab those bottom 2 bounties. And Faith gonna snipe this outpost back quickly. But the Halberd is already up for SCCC. So he didn't decide to go for the full Mjolnir. Did just get the Halberd ASAP. Really, with the the Halberd, he can just kind of do whatever he wants, run into fights. So much of the damage from Newbee is the auto attacks from OD and the Drow Ranger. I don't know, maybe he even considers... Oh, there's a stolen Surge on Ruby. That's why SCCC is so fast.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But I don't know if he considers just going like full tank here. Just goes straight into the AC maybe after the
Dire's top tower
Mjolnir, or maybe the Basher is just too...
Dire's middle tower
The Basher /
attack.
Abyssal is just too appealing. Too nice to have that little bit of extra
Radiant's
jump.
bottom tower
Latch
is
onto
under
the Drow
attack.
Ranger. That's really the end of her. Darkseer not really in a position that he's going to be able to frontline for the team, and Aster with all this minus armor just clean up Roshan in 2 seconds. The Rocket Flare scouts it, but it's too little too late, and now TA's got an Aegis. Lifestealer feels kind of unkillable, and Newbee on the ropes. Does the win probability... Okay, so the win probability now favoring Aster. Mugi does take out this bottom tier too, so it's not a completely free Roshan, but again, looking to isolate the TA if they can, and they get the sound from the backline swap coming through now. They will lose Baboka, Templar Assassin in a pretty compromising position. SCCC now comes down from the high ground and looks towards Mugi. What can they do about this Lifestealer? Just blink out from the Templar Assassin quickly. And SCCC dodges the silence. Looks like he's going to be okay. Yeah, has all this information with the wards, and looks like he will just be able to run up into the trees.
Dire's middle tower is
quick
under
shot's
attack.
also on
Dire's
cooldown,
middle
so
tower has fallen.
pretty easy rage TP if you want to. Can you even just stick around up here? No. Rage TP to mid. So they lose the Aegis pretty quickly. Not the fight that they were necessarily hoping for. OD, what's he got? Is that pipe coming out? Yeah, I was like, where'd all his gold go? He doesn't have enough Shiva's components that he's had this plate mail for a while. So there's the full pike coming in. Mugi decides to go back for a Yasha before finishing up the full pike. And then looks like a Mantis next on the agenda. Oh, Wizard just runs straight up onto the high ground. There's a TA trap waiting here as well. Doesn't have the Surge for a little bit. Comes out soon, but the lift immediately comes out. Does he have enough? They've got the Surge Lifestealer to chase after him just in case they need it. And with that kill, quickly take the outpost, and Clockwork going to be sent packing. Kind of floating around the map. This Clockwork feels like some of the Earth Spirit picks that we've seen in this qualifier. I don't think Clockwork is necessarily a bad hero, but you just have to pick him in the right circumstances, and just for whatever reason it has not worked out this game. They did get those combinations with the OD at mid, but he went and spent quite a bit of time top, and that like netted them 1 kill I think on XXS total.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And very defensive item build from AQ. I almost feel like the way that the last 2 games have gone has kind of gotten in his head a little bit. Like, just getting locked down once by one of the supports will fade in both cases with just a random hex, and then he just dies. Guess just doesn't want to get, like, swapped or lifted or anything, but AQ, we've seen this story before. He wanted this mid-wave, lifted, dead. Aster just waiting for him under cover of smoke, and nothing that Newbee could do to help as Aster now going to just move forward onto the tier 2 tower. And Newbee, what do? They're not great at starting off fights. Clockwork cannot initiate into the 5-man death ball that is Aster, and they're just kind of getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. Templar Assassin's going to have the BKB soon. He hasn't even really had to do anything this game other than just hit creeps. He's got 250 CS. And once he gets the Blink Deso BKB, can just go ham. What can Newbee do about him? I guess the Drow and the OD can turn and just try and hit him, but still gonna have refraction. Alright, silence TP. You just gotta get out of there. Oh, did they not get... Oh, they didn't get outpost experience either in 20 minutes. Did they get any bounties? Nope. Oh, that's bad. Yep, that's why this lead is now 11k and 7.5k and heading towards 75%. Also, Force Staff for Baboka. Maybe he doesn't need to be using so many swaps now to save people. Wizard getting spotted. But Aster not really here for this fight, and SCCC having to be cautious of the clock. They tried to vacuum him up onto the high ground. Would have been nice if that had worked, but didn't happen. TA is now just capturing his top outpost in the meantime. To me, it just looks like Newbee lost a lot of... They lost a lot of confidence after the way that those first 2 games went. They're just really not being decisive at all. Maybe they're thinking, okay, we do just need to farm up. If we can get to a late game situation with Drow Ranger and OD, maybe that's where we have a little bit of a chance, but it does seem like they're just letting Aster dictate the pace of the game. Aster smoked up. They've got a Blink Dagger on their Rubik, so he's ready for a Blink Lift if they get any kind of vision. And they know that this outpost is being captured, so they're just going to beeline there. Lifestealer insanely strong. This full Mjolnir. Who are they going to find first? They're looking towards AQ. Have they found him? Fade's looking for the lift. They can't quite get it. AQ now lifted up. The Force Staff not going to be enough to save him. Chain Frost deployed. YC is just dying to the lightning bouncing around. He's dead. BKB Templar Assassin waiting here for Mugi. He's going to pop the Manta and just try and run for it. AQ wants to stand his ground and fight, but XXS doesn't even die to the hammer being dropped. Triple kill already for SCCC. Mugi wants the TP out. He does just get it, but he is the only survivor of his team, as Aster hardly have a scratch on them after that fight. XXS dropped a little bit low, but that was the only damage dealt by Newbee in that fight. Drow Ranger spent the entire time running away. They just collapsed as soon as the Lifestealer ran into them. And
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, there you go. It's really looking at this point like Aster are going to be your China qualifier champions for the minor. And Newbee, I don't know, what play do they have to make? Like, they don't even have some big vacuum wombo combo that they can pull off, like vacuum into an ice path or something where they can just win the whole team fight off of that. It's really
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's really very disconcerting how little they have to deal with this lifestealer. Like I said, it has been less popular in China than some of the other regions, so maybe something that they just weren't thinking about as much, but it has worked absolute wonders, and TA seems to be the stable hero that she ever was. Like, just the way that SCCC can just walk around is kind of insane to me. Alright, Fade comes in, gets the lift on the wrong one. He's gonna go running. Is he gonna get the bash? Bash, bash, bash. Hook. Oh! Interrupt the bashes, but okay, not hookshot stolen. It is just the battery assault. Oh, I see. Making sure that his carry escapes. Even rocket flaring the wave just to try and push this out a little bit longer and buy themselves a bit more time, but as time ticks, it's just win probability, XP, net worth. All moving for Aster, and Fade even looking for a little bit more as they go for the infest gank at bottom now. Wizard lifted, Pop Slice to say hello. Can they get the bash that they need? Perfectly timed. No chance to run away. And, oh, okay, TA is looking for more. I think, what, did OD just TP out there? Yep. The hit squad just they just, oh, see somebody top, run top, kill them there. See somebody bot, run bot, kill them there, and just zigzag all the way back and forth across the map. And completely close them into their base. What can Newbee do to break out of this? Do they have... Okay, they haven't got any of their tier 3 neutrals yet. They do still have a couple of camps that they can work with, but Roshan's back up. Aster straight in there. Does get scouted by the rocket flare, but is that going to be at all relevant with all the minus armor? Okay, Newbee deciding that they actually have to try and make something happen here. Clockwork's TPing onto the outpost to try and get some kind of a hook in. Is that going to be in time? No, it's not. He gets the hook, but the Aegis is already waiting, and he just gets lifted straight into his death. Fade goes blinking forward, looking for a little bit more. He's got the stolen surge, but no more disables. He's just giving the vision. He's actually got the battery assault as well. Fade is looking for this kill on Faith, keeping him locked down. SC closing the gap with that massive move speed. Wizard will be able to get Faith out, but there's also the stolen surge to contend with. Moogie's just trying to find some neutral items. Alright, the Orb of Destruction. Pretty nice, but... Now 21k. They see Moogie. They ping Moogie. Moogie knows that he just has to get the heck out of there. Rubik already has boots of travel to continue the hunt. Fade not gonna find him though.
No sorceries
TA. Free kill. Fade. 2 hits. Not an uphill miss. No imprisonment because of the orchid. Alright, he buys back. Tier 3 taking damage. Now Fade and Baboku coming over, the big initiators, ready to try something here. Darkseer has a Ghost Scepter, so Wizard may be feeling a little bit safer about being on the front lines, but still has to be wary of this chain stun. He may not even get the opportunity to get it off. Oh, there's the lift. Bashes, 1 Force Staff away, 2nd Force Staff away, keeping him alive. Hookshot in, YC looking for some lockdown and SCCC. Not gonna happen. Templar Assassin in a compromising position. Does lose the first life, has the BKB on the respawn. Might just be able to blink away though. Not forced to use it, does just get swapped out. Baboku's gonna lose his life. Auto attacks from AQ, doing their job here. And Newbee do manage to defend their high ground. Aster not giving up just yet. Might want to wait until they get this Abyssal Blade on the Lifestealer, but it does seem like they might just want to siege this out a little bit more. Telescope picked up. I mean, I should definitely have a neutral item of some description. Alright, and there's the Abyssal Blade. Alright. Oh, Newbee making a move out. Do have a ward up this hill. Could they find something? Again, initiation's still a little bit of a problem for them and completely in the dark as to what Aster are up to. Aster just kind of waiting for their Vengeful Spirit to make it back over. They send SCCC up first. He's got 3k health. very difficult to do anything about. Mugi getting slowed down. They've got another TA trap waiting over here. They've also got the lift. They're going to jump the OD first. Nothing to save him. The silence. Completely ineffective. There's that Abyssal Blade unveiling. Puts AQ in the hole for 50 seconds. And Aster can now set their sights on this high ground once again. TA almost has a full Bloodthorn if she wants it. Wizards got the wall back up in a second. Maybe they can use that to defend. There is a buyback available and a glyph, plus the Frost Shield. Gonna help out a little bit here. But there is there's an Orb of Destruction. Oh, jump in. Mugi, do they have the Force Staffs for him? Gets lifted up. Nice vacuum combination, but again, where's the damage? They've already lost Mugi. AQ's bought back into the game. What's he actually going to be able to do? It's SCCC going ham in the backlines. He gets the bash on the darts here. Sean also wanting to get a little bit involved. They get the swap back. Newbee's had enough. GG is called. And Aster running the gauntlet here in the StarLadder minor qualifiers. They've done it. They took the 2-1 victory over Keen. They take the 3-0 revenge against Newbee, and they will be the minor representative from China. Great Lifestealer pick. The Lifestealer did a lot of work. Templar Assassin looked solid. Newbee just seemed... They seemed a bit broken after those first couple of games. I don't know if AQ kind of lost a little bit of confidence or what happened, but he had a rough series for sure. So definitely a lot for Newbee to look back on and learn from this, but Aster now get to set their sights. And with that, we've wrapped it all up, guys. That's it. We've done the major qualifier. We're done with the minor qualifier. I get the absolute pleasure of saying thank you guys for tuning in across all of the qualifiers, across all the coverage. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, that's really about it. One final congratulations to Aster. I'll give you guys a quick look at some stats if you want to see them. It was really just the SCCC show on the Lifestealer. 25k. Yeah. Cheon did something as well. And Fade even, actually, quite a lot of damage. XXS, maybe the silent hero on some of these saving, more supporty offlaners. His Abaddon, his Omni Knight, really putting in a lot of work and really enabling the other cores to shine. But that wraps it up. Thank you so much for watching. And go and watch whatever is on right now. There's a We Play tournament. There's more great Dota starting in 30 minutes from now. So thank you guys for watching. Go and enjoy that. I'll be tuning in. I'll be in the chat. I'll hopefully see you there.
minute mark and stomped over their opponents. So that may just be them more fixated on what they know can destroy this lineup right now, which may give some inclinations to Liquid. You're probably looking at something that has range on the lane or some, like, you know, bully potential. You don't have to worry about the battle hunger as much in this game, as Oracle can always dispel that off. As for Nigma, I mean, they have good catch. And they have a lot of frontline. I would like to see something that's kind of targeted at this kind of mid-game interval, this kind of rapid ramp up. I'd say something like a Troll Warlord, but I mean, they can't count you a Razor in that situation. But they can get the Monkey King. Okay, that definitely gives aggression to Liquid. That brings them swinging out of the lanes. And that is another situation where we have some Void Spirits ran the safe lane. It's like this Void is going to be mid/off, Timber mid/off, and then Monkey King in the 1 position.
10 seconds remaining.
Now you definitely want to pick some sort of range here on
5
Nigma.
seconds remaining.
Just so you have that flex on both sides. There it is, OD.
You may now select your
Alright, so that's going to be the Timber counter. I was wondering which way they were going to go with this, because the one thing that could make this Timber good was the fact they didn't have a Spirit Vessel builder, but the OD making it through this far is something you wouldn't have seen in previous patches. How the times have changed. So, for those just tuning in, this is just the opening match. Whichever team loses here is not out, but they will be in